Regular meeting. Welcome, everyone. We're happy to have our Youth Commissioner, Mekhi Nash, with us again tonight. Glad to have you here. First up is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would please join me in a moment of silence for our invocation tonight. Thank you. Okay, first up is the approval of the regular meeting agenda. You all have a copy of that before you. Do I hear a motion to approve the meeting agenda with the changes on page 4?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. And we move to recognitions and presentations. And first up, I'd like to call on Elise Pugh for a recognition of a Human Services employee. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much, and good evening, Commissioners. I'd like to invite our DHS employee, Anna Green, as well as her supervisor, Joshua Hoke, and Program Administrator, Justice Johnson, to join me for this recognition. So Anna Green is a member of one of our DSS teams, and recently she did an incredible job while just performing her normal job duties. And specifically, she was at a home visit, and she noticed that there was a distressing moment with a baby that was experiencing a cardiac event. Anna galvanized really quickly. She noticed that the baby had stopped breathing and was turning purple, which prompted a call to 911. And Anna reacted swiftly using the skills that she had actually just learned in one of our required CPR trainings. She administered chest compressions until EMS arrived, and her calm demeanor was pivotal, and her quick action successfully helped restore the baby's respiratory. So I just wanted to recognize Anna today and thank her so much for being a part of our team and truly epitomizing the mission and the values of Cabarrus County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you, Anna, for your service to the county. I think it's important to note that, and we have some EMS representatives in the office tonight, and I think in the new facility that they just moved into, I think one of the first functions they had there was county training for CPR for all employees. So it's important. And we appreciate that collaboration, cooperation between departments. You make life better for everybody in Cabarrus County. So thank you all. Next up is a proclamation for Black History Month. I will read that proclamation now. Whereas Black History Month is the observance of a special period to recognize the achievements and contributions of African Americans to our county, state, and nation. And whereas this observance presents the special opportunity to become more knowledgeable about Black heritage and to honor the many Black leaders who have played a part in the progress of our county. And whereas such knowledge can strengthen the insight of all our citizens regarding the issues of human rights, the great strides that have been made in the crusade to eliminate the barriers of equality for minority groups, and the continuing struggle against racial discrimination and poverty. and whereas, as a result of their determination, hard work, intelligence, and perseverance, African Americans have achieved exceptional success in all aspects of society, including business, education, politics, science, athletic, and the arts. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Commissioners for Cabarrus County, North Carolina, do hereby recognize February 2024 as Black History Month and encourage all citizens to participate in the educational and celebratory events honoring the contributions and accomplishments of African Americans. Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation. Do I hear a motion that we adopt it as presented?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. We move now to informal public comments. I have the yellow cards that have been presented. Periodically, we review the rules on public participation through our informal public comments. We have the entire public participation policy here, which is a 2-page document. If anybody wishes to have a copy of that, the clerk has copies available. I am going to read some of the key points from that policy to abbreviate it just a bit. The board has adopted a public participation policy that provides reasonable rules on how the public can have their voice heard by their leaders. Under the policy, the board welcomes all viewpoints. However, speakers should be respectful and observe proper decorum. Speakers are free to discuss substantive concerns of public interest, but irrelevant personal insults and attacks are not permitted. Please do not identify minors without permission from their parents. Speakers must register with the clerk by filling out a yellow card before speaking. Speakers will have up to 3 minutes to speak, and there is a timer here on the podium that will keep you abreast of your time. And as I mentioned before, you can get a copy of the full public participation policy from the clerk. The cards that I have here have been numbered before they were presented to me, and we will call on them in that order. And the first card is Jeter Anderson.
I didn't number it that way. Jeter Anderson, and I didn't number that card that way. I put it under somebody's name, so that's wrong. But I'm up here tonight talking about our sorry DSS, and I noticed our DSS man's not here tonight to hear this going on. We got a child scandal going up here with Jay White and Christy Wilhelm and Mike Downs, and a little bit with Lynn Shue. You know, I asked Lynn Shue to ask Christy Wilhelm, did he know if my sister was a helpless child before she tried her in that court without no lawyer? And it was sickening. You know, you can't do that to somebody that's mentally ill. You can't try them without a lawyer. They got to have a lawyer. And she didn't answer the question to him, but it was okay with Lynn Shue, like your tax incentives. He's okay with no answer, you know. Don't do a little committee and find out what's really going on with the tax incentives around here. He don't care. He don't care. Whatever answer he gets is what he'll accept. Anyway, we got Jay White who calls me and threatens me. Well, I took him to court. It wasn't a threat, ruled by a judge. So we made sure it wasn't a threat. He was talking to me about the state's case. For over 25 minutes, Jay White talked to me about the state's case and talked, and I asked him. He said he thought she was smart. So that's why I thought to ask Christy Wilhelm, hey, did you know my sister was a helpless child? Because she didn't. She didn't know that because Jay White had told me that on his phone call. That wasn't a threat. It was deliberately talking about the state's case that was sealed. And we got Steve up here talking about we can't say nothing. Well, everything's done been said, so answer the question and let's fix this little scandal that's going on. Quit taking people's kids that don't need to be taken. The DSS is supposed to protect kids and help, but no, we take kids. That's the first thing. We want to do CPR on them. We don't want to get paramedics. We want to overstep. We want to overstep and hurt people, hurt our citizens. We hurt these people. We hurt these children, taking them from their parents. They don't even be taken. They don't need to be taken. Our child didn't need to be taken. And I asked somebody to look into it. I asked Evan Lee, y'all just keep getting DSS people. Evan Lee's a DSS lawyer from Winston-Salem. Y'all keep getting these DSS people because y'all keep taking these kids and y'all keep trying to hide this scandal. Well, you're not hiding this scandal. Y'all took our child and y'all didn't need to take her. And her name's Jada Sue Anderson. And I want her home. And Evan Lee, he's part of the scandal. He don't want to do nothing because it's a brown child, a black child. I asked him. I talked to him. Nothing. We need to do something about this DSS. We cannot let two DSS. Where's the state? Are we going to get the state to help Mike Downs run this DSS? This DSS is out of control.
Okay, our next card is from Jerry Anderson.
Jerry Anderson, Kannapolis, North Carolina. Free speech shouldn't have all them rules. So I don't understand free speech, evidently. Anyway, y'all exploited Anna back there. Y'all exploited her for applause to make you think the DSS is so great. It's more unfavorable than anything else out here. The reason they're corrupt now, they didn't want to be corrupt, but with inadequate training and the going-ons, they become corrupt. People try to cover it up. Everybody in this folder is gone, I prayed about, except 3 people. The orchestrator, Christy up there, what's her name, Christy? Wilhelm, and Jay White, orchestrators. Listen, if Jessica Bridges was there when I asked to speak with her, this wouldn't have gone on. My child wouldn't have been taken, but y'all didn't pay her right, or something was going on. Mr. Shue told me 2 go, 2 come, and 3 go. Well, if 2 come and 3 go, you ain't got no help. That's where corruption comes in. Training, I'm glad Anna Green got training. The girl that I come that shouted Jessica Bridges at my house was new, and she's the one that lied on me and said I come up there for my child, that we was abusing her at home. That don't even make sense. And this don't make sense. And you let a guy, Mike Downs, sit up here and close his doors and don't answer questions that somebody's asking, why you take my child? And he closes his door. That's a sign of corruption right there. And how y'all let him not answer questions? Why can't people answer my questions? There's a lot of wrongness right here. You know, I've sat here for a year and pleaded and told y'all what happened. It's not only me telling you. God speaks through me, and he's hearing, and he's watching your actions. He's watching what y'all do. He's watching what y'all do. I think, Shue, you stopped my son one time from talking, said it was kind of, religious up here, you know, the kind of, well, you know what? I don't think so. Y'all sit up here and y'all know a child's been taken, and that child, think about that child hurting. Lord, she's 15 years old. Does she even know her mother's dead? And she never got to see us again? What kind of, it don't even make sense. And y'all back it, and y'all say your DSS so good. State should be up here right now. And I don't know where Mike Downs is. He's not answering no questions, never did. And you're getting all these people up here, and you're not favorable. DSS is one of the most unfavorable places I ever seen. They're most mistake making.
Okay, our next card is from John David Tucker, Jr.
Hello, my name is John David Tucker Jr. I'm here to talk about the nuisance ordinance. I'm retired and live with my wife on 4533 Manio Drive, which is a gravel road off Flowstore Road. For the last year and a half, we have been dealing with a problem on a small 1/3 acre lot that my property borders on 3 sides. The land is in an estate that did not pass title properly. I've been told by 3 different people who have said they own all or most of the small lot. It is hard for the county officials to enforce regulation and laws without this help of this new nuisance ordinance. This is what our neighborhood deals with: a non-owner residence in a small RV with no power or water or sewer hookups and runs a generator 24/7. Disabled white van with graffiti on the side of it. Trash and junk piled everywhere. Tarps and tents for coverage. Traffic coming and going all the day and night. Abandoned, burned out mobile home that has not been removed or dealt with as a safety issue. I have personally told visiting children to get off the property because I didn't want them exploring and possibly getting hurt. The non-owner is encroaching on neighboring property and is hostile to all neighbors if approached. In conclusion, my family and our neighbors hope the passing of this nuisance ordinance will help with the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next card is from Rich Wise.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Rich Wise. First, I'm a citizen of Cabarrus County, and second, I'm a Town of Midland councilman. I'd like to thank Commissioner Kenny Wortman for the 6th grade math analogy of how tax incentives work. I feel that's inappropriate for the citizens of Cabarrus County to be treated like 6th graders. We deserve to be treated with respect. You were all elected, except Mr. Furr, to make good decisions and run our county, and for the most part, you do a great job, except for treating us like children. There was absolutely no reason to play school for 45 minutes at the last meeting when there are no more important items to discuss. To me, it was meant to be a giant smokescreen as to what's going on. Leave their ethics at home and stop treating us like children. Tax incentives, to an extent, can be helpful to our community, but offering the same company 2 and 3 or more incentives is wrong. They're already here and honestly going anywhere, and if they ask for a 2nd or 3rd incentive to expand, and the fear that they will leave if they don't get their additional incentive is ludicrous. You are setting a bad precedent. A company is not going to shut down its business just to move, and the cost involved in moving would be astronomical. The reason you keep publicly inviting some of these companies to request additional incentives is that the incentive approval and the county commissioner re-election donations have been blurred over the years. They donate to certain campaigns to ensure any additional incentives grant requests are approved. The old "I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine" deal. Finally, about our tax rate. Our tax rate is 74 cents, no matter how you spin it. Per capita or not, it's still 74 cents compared to Mecklenburg County, which is 61.69 cents, approximately 10 cents lower than ours. Anyone looking to North Carolina to move here can pull up tax rates online and compare them all. It's all there in black and white, and in the North Carolina municipality tax rates and effective rates charts. We know the campaign contributions are involved and a lot in the decisions you make. We know our tax rate is significantly higher than Mecklenburg's. And finally, you push for an approved tax incentive because they benefit your best interest, not ours. Stop the charades. Stop treating the citizens of Cabarrus County like children, because we're not. Thank you, gentlemen.
Our next card is from Brian Echeverria.
Thank you. My family and I have lived here since 2006. We've witnessed changes over the years that we don't really appreciate. Our county became infected with corruption and political games. Our elections are a version of what we see nationally. They, the establishment, versus we, the people. And the people are getting more and more fed up. For example, if an elected official opposes a common sense heartbeat bill, wants to legalize drugs, advances the vision to socialize health care, tries to put casinos in family-oriented communities, and passes legislation to weaken the Republican Party, it would be evident that that person is politically liberal. Except that person is my opponent, branding himself conservative in a Republican primary. Now, he's not conservative, so he thinks it's bad that I participated in Operation Chaos with Rush Limbaugh in 2008 and 2012. He'll mention his whopping 133 days of legislative experience and take credit for the achievements of the entire Republican-led House. However, his record is not conservative. Did he support the heartbeat bill? No. He says House leadership told him not to. When he should have sponsored the constitutional carry bill to strengthen our Second Amendment rights, he didn't. Was that leadership again? He'll have to explain opposing the heartbeat bill himself, but rest assured, I'll represent you in Raleigh, not House leadership. However, he did represent himself. He filed a bill to get his sign company subsidized by taxpayers, which is no surprise. He likes taxpayer money. He took nearly $1.5 million of your taxpayer dollars free. Hear him tell it he didn't even need it. Now the question is that legal, moral, or ethical? Listen, I know what it's like to need help. Fresh out of high school, like many people, I bounced the check. And for those who can't relate, that can happen when you don't have enough money. 15 years ago, in 2009 recession, I was part of the 74% increase in bankruptcies. But I did not hustle big money from taxpayers. Good people won't stand by while an out-of-touch government official vilifies people like me because we're not all rich. It's safe to say none of us would bounce a check or file bankruptcy if we extracted 1.5 million COVID dollars from our tax-paying neighbors. The people deserve better. We want great schools, safety on our streets, our children and teachers to be secure while they're at school. We want to keep our money, not lose it to inflation and give 10%, that's a tithe, to state and local governments. And as Isaiah says, here I am, send me. I ask for your vote and support. You can go to familyisOurStory.com to donate or volunteer, and there's a phone number on there if you want to reach me with personal questions. Thank you, commissioners. God bless you.
Okay, our next card is from James Campbell. And Mr. Campbell, I'm going to ask you, if when you finish, to fill out your address on the card for our records.
No problem.
Thank you.
First, let me give honor to Jesus Christ, my Savior. I come to you to speak about a grave injustice in this county, Cabarrus County Department of Health Services. As we're honoring Dr. King this past weekend and yesterday, King, a great man of faith and a father, much had came to mind. I myself, a man of faith, but mostly importantly, a father, a husband, who has been impacted by Cabarrus County DSS, whom has supposed amateurs CCDHS, who is supposed to protect children, but instead has placed them in a human trafficking system, terrorizing, traumatizing Black, brown, and poor Caucasians. This is the new transatlantic slave trade. On August 7, 2023, a road DSS worker came to my front door in our newly developed housing community and illegally took my 4 children. This all stemmed because my 9-year-old stepdaughter confided in me regarding sexual abuse by her biological father, who lives in Mecklenburg County. Instead of CCDHS listening to what happened to my stepdaughter and caring about her well-being, the rogue CCDH worker dismissed the allegations to the wayside. Until we decide enough was enough and filed a complaint to the state, our children were taken out of our home out of sheer retaliation. The rogue social worker, a supervisor, 4 Caucasian Concord police officers took my now 5-year-old, my now 4-year-old, my 9-year-old stepdaughter, and now my 18-year-old stepson. My wife and I are well educated, have gainful employment, but yet, because of a retaliatory and dysfunctional CCDHS, our children have been placed in a systematic system for false accusations of neglect in an injurious environment. As a black father who prides himself on never being incarcerated, who holds a bachelor's, master's, and soon a degree in divinity, I hold this county responsible for negligence and the destruction of my family. We have churches on nearly every street corner in this county, but none of Cabarrus County elected officials follows Jesus' lead. I want to leave you with something to think about. Lies destroy lives. It was lies that burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was lies that lynched Emmett Till. It was lies that incarcerated the Scottsboro boys, and it's lies that destroyed my family.
That concludes all the cards that we have for informal public comments. We move now to our consent agenda, which consists of items that were discussed at length at our work session 2 weeks ago. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. And we move now to new business. We have one item of new business tonight, and that is from Emergency Medical Services. We've discussed previously a new stretcher lease for our EMS, and I think this is a technical issue requiring a resolution to affirm the action we've already taken. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Mr. Lee?
That pretty much sums it up, Mr. Chairman. This is just something, because this is a 10-year lease, it requires local government commission approval, and this has already been approved on the November consent agenda, but we need to do it through a formal resolution to comply with the state requirements. That's it.
Very good. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Lee? Okay, hearing none, thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the new stretcher lease resolution as presented? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. And we move now to updates from commission members who serve as liaisons to municipalities or on various boards and committees. Does anyone have anything tonight?
Londa Strong asked me to share from Active Living and Parks. The department master plan needs our input, so if we can go to the Active Living and Parks website and follow that QR code to add it. Pickleball beginners class is January 23rd at Hartsville Recreation Center. $5 is the amount, and you can call the department to register. The pickleball doubles tournament is January 24th at Hartsville Recreation Center. That's $16 per team. And the Senior Games Sports Clinic is February 21st from 1 to 3:30, and that is free. And they can contact 704-920-3484 for information about any of those events.
Great, thank you. Any other reports? If not, we will move to general comments by board members. And the floor is open if anyone has anything. Okay, hearing none, we do have need of a closed session tonight. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session as authorized by North Carolina General Statute 143-318, 11A, 3, 4, and 5. This is for discussion of pending litigation, economic development, and acquisition of real property.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes, and we are now in closed session, and we thank everyone who joined us tonight.